Many players leave the dungeon, fleeing from the monsters, the werewolves. The hero of the story asks her, what happened this often? She tells him not much, but sometime, because if this continues to happen, the concept of dungeons will change. Let us report this. After we finish, she goes first. He takes out the bat sword. They eliminate some werewolves. The king of the werewolves comes, and you tell him to leave this werewolf to me. Since the level is between 100 and 110, this problem should not be and go away. Some werewolves attack the hero of the story, but he kills some of them, and says, I don't think this will take a long time. He says, isn't it finished yet? He looks at her and says, it's literally a battle between two monsters. Should I help her? He goes towards the werewolf, but is visited by him. He says, what is this magical power? He cuts a thong with his claws on her chest and bites her neck. The hero of the story attacks him with a flame projectile, but he avoids the flame projectile. The hero of the story attacks him with a bat sword. The werewolf leaves Suwu asking her, are you okay, miss? He treats her and says, damn the wound she received just now. The king of the werewolves attacks him from behind, but he cuts off his claws and says, you clever bastard. You could have killed her, but you used it as bait to lure me. Did you send your followers to buy time? The werewolf attacks him, but he avoids the attack and attacks the werewolf back. The werewolf buries him, and his followers call him. They surround the hero of the story and besiege him. He says, curse it. However, in this case, this would be the best option. He shows the fire skill and says, let's take it slowly. He inserts a magic shell, an ice shell, and a flame shell into the sword. He decides to fire a fireball at the werewolves. He shoots at the monsters and says I didn't think I would use all this, and continues to shoot at the werewolf king, and says, what a good dodger you have. As expected from a monster, let's see if he can dodge the unique skills. He also hits a wall of ice that sends out several spears from absolute space, eliminating the monster and saying, I believe that everything the king dropped has value. Obtains the heart of the werewolf king, obfuscation from the system. Heart of the werewolf king. You can transform into the werewolf king for a few minutes. During the transformation, your strength, agility, and stats increase by 30%. After the end of the transformation, your strength, agility, and endurance statistics will decrease by 10% permanently. How to use. Consumption. Says I can transform. The negatives seem much stronger compared to the positives. After that, he leaves the cell and goes to wait for the rest of the team. Faisal. The rest of the team says to Siwu, is she okay? The hero of the story tells him that at the present time, she has recovered from her external injuries. But for reassurance, someone must take her to the hospital. Suwu says, thank you if it weren't for you, but this would be a major accident. He replies, this is my duty as a colleague in an emergency room as well. He then decides to leave the next day. He comes to the union and finds that she is receiving him and apologizing to him. He tells her, I only did what I had to do. Nothing. But it seems that the members are still the same. Suwu says, after we finished dealing with the situation, we went fishing, and then we came here to take a break. It seems that you did the same thing, didn't you? The hero of the story says that satisfaction is the best way to make money here. They go and drink coffee. Suwu says to him, at first, I thought you were a young master of some rich family. It is very rare to rent and carry rare items. The hero of the story, a young man, says, before I woke up, I was an ordinary worker in our company. I had to work because my father was sick and had to be hospitalized. Everyone in my family faced hardship to earn a living. To be honest with you, there was an unofficial order from the management to take good care of you. That's why I thought you were from a rich family. The hero of the story says to himself, he thought I was a child with a gold spoon. He says, it seems that Miss Shin Yuna is the one who did this. Suwu asks, do you know Miss Shin Yuna? The hero of the story answers, yes. She is the one who discovered me and brought me to the players' union wherever they are. Friends listen to their conversation. Suwu says, it seems that you are a real, distinguished player. Since the commander herself was the one who discovered you after dark. Where are you? The hero of our story was in one of the corridors saying to himself, I must restock before going to sleep. While he was walking, he heard Miss Sue's voice telling him, Hey, I'm really sorry. I made assumptions in my mind, which led to a misunderstanding, so I treated you rudely. I apologize. I thought I had a preconceived idea about you, because someone I met before asks the hero of our story, what happened? She says, because the association director's son was unruly on site. Many team members were harmed that day, but this person who put everyone in danger was not punished. So instead, our team members received punishment. After this, she assumed that all people who were nepotistic were like this. The hero of the story told her, It's okay. I'm not bothered by this. She thanks him, and he says to himself, Her real personality seems nice. He says to her, Sue, can I ask you something? If you cannot answer, do not force yourself to say, I will answer. What is the matter? The hero of our story says to himself, If this is her true self, I feel that she is easy to reach.